Hello, my name is Anastasiia Haraieva. Today I would like to talk about the unconscious part of human minds, the deeper layers of our thoughts and feelings, and what is hiding in our minds beyond our awareness. And to help me do that, I want to focus on the psychodynamic study of psychology, but exactly outlined by Freud's theory, defense mechanisms. Psychodynamic theory by itself is the study of psychology that focuses on the role of a person's unconscious as well as early childhood. However, the exact part of our unconscious that I would like to discuss is defense mechanisms, which in some way protect us from feeling anxious and overwhelmed. Freud said that our mind has three parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. The ID wants things right away, like food or pleasure. The ego tries to balance these desires with what is possible in real life. The superego acts like our moral guide, telling us what is right and wrong. These three parts often work together, but sometimes they create inner conflict. When certain events, feelings, or desires cause anxiety, the unconscious mind steps in to help. To protect us from feeling overwhelmed, the ego uses defense mechanisms, unconscious way of thinking or behavior that reduce anxiety. These mechanisms are automatic and we usually don't realize we are using them. In a simple way, this shows that our unconscious mind does everything it can to protect our conscious mind, keeping us safe, calm, and free from too much stress. However, defense mechanisms can also distort reality, meaning they change how we see things to help us feel better. According to Freud, everyone uses these defense mechanisms to cope with difficult emotions and maintain mental balance. However, its way to protect us also can be overmeasured in our nervous system, which can cause another problem in biopsychology. For instance, when defense mechanisms like repression, which mean pushing away painful memories or thoughts, become too active in our cycle, they can cause gaps or blanks in memory. This can be harmful because we start to forget important parts of our life. As a result, our experiences and the lessons we should learn from them lose their meaning and become unworthy. This is something I have experienced personally, and today I would like to share my own story with you. A little bit about me. I'm from Ukraine. I live in the city Odessa, and as my country in real situation had a war, my city was fully under fire for all 3 years of the war. And all these 3 years, my family did not move to any other country. So, to say indirectly, I lived all this time and saw the chaos and disruption of my war in my real life. I had some time in my life when I truly didn't understand why my memories were erased or had changed about some events. As time went by, I realized that everything I had forgotten or changed my mind was about bad or unpleasant events. But I always wondered, why do I always forget these bad memories? For instance, I can remember big conflicts. I remember that I had bad feelings and left some days under mood after. However, exactly the reasons and how it went from what it has started, I don't remember. It was a big discovery for me when I researched that it was defensive mechanisms that protect my cycle from anxiety and get disrupted from stress. But now, from Psycho 11, I finally recognize that in my situation in life, it was defensive mechanism, exactly repression. The sense is that I know which bad situation I saw during this time, what tragedies and risks to my life I survived from, and I remember that feeling about living on the border of life and death. Certainly, I faced death in my real life. However, after some time, when I was in the US, I observed that I couldn't compact and recall exactly these bad memories. During the time that I was in Ukraine, I certainly couldn't remember all the situation because of their big quantity. But for now, I can't recall even whose terrifying and scary feelings and pictures about them. And I realized why. I realized that my cycle is trying to protect me from going crazy due to these terrifying memories. That's why I've forgotten not only the bad memories, but sometimes even the good memories from that time. They were swallowed up with the rest. For me, it is a good, meaningful reminder that everything in our life comes from unconscious and an awareness that explains people's behavior in protective mechanisms. Regarding defense mechanisms, in our undermined part, I receive it like an almost real life-saving pillow. Because of it protects our cycle, it is a key to save us. Moreover, I learned that not everything that people do is really what they choose. It's mostly what they need to choose to protect themselves. The natural mind chooses to do some actions to prevent developing nervous disruption, anxiety. Therefore, I believe that nothing in this world happens without a reason. If our nature created defense mechanisms, they are there to help us survive and stay mentally safe. In addition, the good, even if it's strange, lessons that I note for myself is that if something bad happens in life that can torment and disrupt us, we certainly should know that our cycle will protect us from everything bad, and defensive mechanisms are part of that protection. Thank you for your attention. I hope my story helps you understand how psychology, especially Freud's theory, explains real human behavior and how defense mechanisms work quietly in the background to protect us from emotional harm.